Africa. It is a land of beauty, rich in culture, with a vibrant people. The children of this land were enslaved. A vicious colonization took over the remnant, and now a different enemy stalks the continent. What happens when a government no longer works for its people? When law and order disintegrates, and the struggle for survival is a never-ending battle? What happens if daily bread becomes unattainable for the masses, and men must pass through the corridors of death to find survival? The Land That Shivers, coming to Amazon and everywhere.
Welcome back to SaharaTV. My name is Rudolf Okonkwo. She studied medicine at University of Ibadan. Since 1994, she has been practicing medicine in New Jersey. Dr. Ebele Ufondu is also a writer. She just published her first novel, The Land That Shivers. Dr. Ufondu, welcome to SaharaTV.
Thank you.
Wow. Now, your novel is partly political and partly about the current situation in Nigeria. So let me start by asking you about what's happening next Saturday on the 16th, not this Saturday, next one, in Nigeria, which is the presidential election. What is your take on the contestants and what's going on?
Well, to start with, I don't have any political affiliation in Nigeria. I will not say that there's any particular one I choose. But to me, the issue in Nigeria has become more than just who the president is. We need to begin to go beyond the election and look at how we hold our public officers accountable. It does not matter who you elect as much as who you hold accountable. None of them is very attractive to me personally, but whoever comes in there, we the people must hold them accountable.
Now, go ahead.
We must demand as the people who brought them in for them to take care of what we need them to take care of. We need them to, to make sure that governance in Nigeria stops to be just padding your pockets, rather providing for the people, creating a country that all of us can be proud of.
Now, all the estimates are pointing at the fact that Saturday that the land that is Nigeria will shiver, just like your title of your book. Can you imagine using your fictional skills to say what you expect will happen on Saturday, or maybe the ideal thing? What should be the ideal outcome of that election?
The ideal thing should be that people should be able to go out and cast their votes, orderly, and make their decision, and their decision should count. That should be the ideal thing.
Now, let's go to the beginning. I know you are aware of Chinua Achebe was a student at University of Ibadan, where you went to school, and he was admitted to study medicine. He ended up studying English, and he became a writer. Chimamanda Adichie also was admitted to University of Nigeria, Nsukka, to study medicine, and she ended up a writer. But you studied medicine, and now you're a writer. Do you think that you succeeded where Adichie and Chinua Achebe failed? In the sense that you ate your cake and you have it?
I think they had more lenient parents than I did.
Oh, okay.
Because my parents actually encouraged me to do medicine. And by the time I passed JAMB, they were beyond any excuses. I had told them I wanted to do architecture. They said no. So I think it's just the background. I never had the choice to choose otherwise. But having said that, I have no regrets. I love medicine. But I'm also a lover of books. And therefore, that's what this culminated in.
Yeah. So have you been aspiring to write all this while? Have you been trying to write, or you just decided I'm going to write now and then you did it?
I was not aspiring to write. This book was born out of a request that my children made after they saw a news documentary about some Africans who died trying to leave Africa. And they say, Mom, write what will make somebody risk their lives to leave their country. And that's what gave birth to this book.
So they demanded to have explanation, and you wrote this book?
Yes.
So without that, you wouldn't have written this book?
I wouldn't have written this book.
Now, in so many ways, the novel is kind of, you diagnosed Nigeria's illness and especially corruption. Why did you choose to use fiction? You know, you could have said to your children, you know what, I'm going to write non-fictional book explaining what happened or what is going on in Africa or Nigeria. Yes,
that was actually my first intention. But getting information out of Nigeria, transparency is very, very poor. I would have preferred to write, in the different, but the different things I wanted to write about, trying to get the information, the truth, is very difficult. So in the end, much as I tried to stay true to what was in the society, I had to make a decision to make it into fiction, because that gave me more leeway to bring to the fore the real issues.
Now, in chapter 12 of the book, you talked about a certain central bank governor named Suleiman, who discovered that $50 billion was missing from NNPC account, and the action he took. Now, in the story, you went beyond what we know happened under former governor of Central Bank. Do you have more things you know that we don't know, and you have background information? How did you research the book, and what is the process like?
Okay, very good. When I did the research for the book, I had occasions where I had to watch interviews that were given by Central Bank governor, or open sessions where the Senate committee, had some hearings, and interviews of maybe the president. So I had interviews that I looked at, some I watched, some I read. So I was able to gather information from whatever aspects of the story I needed to research for.
Now, in the marketing of the book, the Land That Shivers, it's been portrayed as an answer to the question most people, not just your children, even Americans, are wondering, why are people coming from Latin America to America? Why are these people immigrants coming from all over? So it's kind of that marketed that way as an answer to that question. This is why, this is what's happening where they are coming from. But we know that America of Trump, Trump's America of today, they don't care about what's happening where you come from. They are not interested in nation building. They are not interested in making the world democracy, spreading it across the world. How are reviewers, how are they reacting to the book?
Well, I think it's opening the eyes of most people who have read the book to see that Africa is not, there is a reason why Africa is the way that it is. It's not just that the people are lazy or people don't want to help themselves. It's that the leadership is not doing what they need to do. And even Americans are aware, some are aware of their, will I say, their involvement, not directly, but indirectly by accepting what is coming out of Africa. Because the wealth that is flowing out of Africa is way more than any level of aid that has come to us. And therefore, most of them are, some of them, not most, some of them are aware of it. And I think basically it's beginning to open eyes.
Okay, we'll pause now and watch a video of, after that we'll talk again, a video of a Nigerian immigrant, a woman who moved to Canada. And an African-American guy confronted her where she was begging for money. So let's watch the video and then we'll come back.
This black bitch out there trying to scam people for money. They get enough money from the government. They get enough money from the government, but she still wants to out there trying to be a professional panhandler. No dignity, no self-respect. Let me go and see what she wants. I'm gonna try to tease her a bit. Okay, how much money do you need?
Look, I need $20 to buy groceries to feed my son.
You need
He's 14 years old.
You need $20?
Yeah, brother. to buy
Okay, so
clothes.
what about the government? What, doesn't the government give you money?
They give very little. It's
Huh?
not enough. They give very little.
Doesn't the government give you money?
Yeah, they give very little.
Little?
I have to pay my house rent. I have to pay my fees. At the end of the day, the money remains
Yeah.
very little.
Oh, okay. Where you come from?
Nigeria.
Nigeria?
Yeah.
Nigeria? So why are you here for? Why did you leave Nigeria?
I came here to have a good life. I went to school, York University.
Yeah.
I had a job. The job finished. I've not been able to get a new job. Things are very hard for me and my son.
Oh, so you come from Nigeria to Canada to get a good life?
Yes.
To live a good life?
Yes, brother.
Why can't you live a good life in Nigeria?
The economy is very bad.
The economy is bad?
Yeah.
Okay, so why are you, let me ask you a question. Why are you Africans, why are you Africans running from Africa to Europe, to Canada, to America, to live with the white man? Why?
The economy at home is very bad, brother.
Huh? Because
Yeah.
the economy?
Yeah.
So you mean you people in Africa, you can't run your own economy?
There's a lot of corruption.
Huh? Lots of
The
corruption.
government
So
is
so
not
a lot of corruption. So you guys can't get along with each other. So you run from Africa to Europe to live with the white people because you can't manage your own country. Is that right?
Brother, the government.
I don't understand why you Africans keep running away from Africa to come to live with the white man. Why can't you take care of your own country? Why?
It's very tough, brother.
Huh?
It's very tough. The government is very hard.
Yeah, but I don't agree with Africans coming from Africa to Canada to America, running from Africa because you can't manage your own country. Why can't you manage your own country?
The government is very hard.
Yeah.
I just told you about the government. The government has to manage the economy for the citizens, but they are not doing so. The government is not doing so.
The government is what?
The government is not managing the economy very well.
Okay. So you out here panhandling then, right?
Yes, brother.
I'm not your brother, okay? I'm not your brother. I'm an American, okay? So, anyways, have a good day.
Okay, so as you saw in the video, when the African American man confronted the woman, she blamed poor leadership, corruption, lack of infrastructure as the reasons why she left Africa. And she said she was in Canada to find good life. Mm-hmm. Just like what your main character, Asa, confronted. Now, the question is, you saw from that video that the African-American guy had no sympathy. And he was basically saying, why is it that Africans cannot handle their problems? Why is it that it's the same story for the past 50 years? So what's the answer to that?
Well, really, it's about time that we as Africans begin to pay attention and can see their frustration, because if you look at America, they had a struggle for independence, they had a struggle for civil liberties, and it's like in Africa we have not gotten to that level for some reason to fight for what belongs to us. But I think the time is coming when that is going to change.
Okay. Now, you mentioned before that your children were the ones who demanded that you should explain this, and you read the book. Have they read the book? And if they have read the book, what is their take on the answers you gave? Did that change anything in their perception of Africa?
Well, they definitely feel that we need to get the word out about about the situation in Africa, because they were not aware before they read the book what the situation was. My daughter felt that, well, why don't people rise up? But in a chapter in the book, there's a time when the villagers demanded some answers, demanded some attention from the governor, and it didn't end well. So so they don't have the same situation as they have here. But that is something difficult for an American to understand.
That did they say, for instance, you know what, I'm going to go down there and fix these people? No, because they are Nigerian Americans, so they could go there and fix it. Did they say something like that, or did they feel like, oh, Africa, yucky, you know, that no more, they're not going to go to?
Well, in all honest, they did not feel like they were going to go back there and fight. My son actually said to me, Mom, if anybody else is getting married in Nigeria, just send them a card.
So they don't want you to go there too. They don't want you to go there.
Not the way it is now, but it's going to change.
But who will change it? If they don't want you, you wrote the book. You are the one who articulated what is wrong in a fictional way that they understood it. So who will change it?
Well, we have to raise awareness among ourselves because Nigerians don't know their rights. Then that is something that has held us back. We look at our elected officials as those people, the rich, but they're not supposed to be. They're supposed to serve the people. And as Nigerians begin to demand that, as Nigerians all over, both in the diaspora and at home, begin to speak up, then a time will come when the people who want to hide riches in the West will no longer be able to do that.
Now, there were a lot of issues, like one chapter where you talked about the accident that Asa and the father had. You used that opportunity to illustrate the situation, the sad situation of the healthcare system in Nigeria. Now, as a doctor who practiced in Nigeria and is now practicing here, what will it take to make the healthcare system in Nigeria get to a level where it will be decent enough for people? What do you think?
I think it's still going to take the same issues of corruption, being controlled, because corruption is the reason why the basics in Nigeria are not provided. When money is allocated for something and somebody can pocket it, or you're supposed to supply something to the hospital and you're able to get a kickback, then nothing is, or give kickback, then there's nothing is going to move forward. Nothing will move forward. But when we begin to hold the public officers accountable, then money allocated to whatever project will be able to get there. And that is what we need, because Nigeria has the money. It's just being misappropriated.
Now, there's one aspect of medical practice in Nigeria that I don't understand, and it has nothing to do with money or equipment or medicine, and that is how patients are treated. There are a lot of experiences that by many people here or who have people at home where doctors, nurses, they don't seem to have any regard for the right of patients. Even simple things as telling them the name of the medication they are giving them. They get irritated if patients ask any question. So was it something that was not taught in Nigeria, or that doctors don't follow through with the teaching? Because it doesn't happen here.
Well, I think it's the same issue of accountability. Back in Nigeria, we are not really held accountable as far as how you treat the patients, because the patients they don't realize they have a right. Here in America, in almost every examining room or entrance to the hospital or some other location, there's Bill of Rights for patients. There's this is your right. You have the right not to be in pain. You have this, you have the right to have your questions answered. So the doctors have to comply with that, and nurses, and all the way down, because the patient can make complaints, and when the patient makes complaints, they're upheld, they're evaluated, they're investigated. So there are consequences.
Now, the book is coming out, I saw February
12th.
12th. Okay. Where can people get it? Can I look at? Where can people get it?
It's available on Amazon. It's available Barnes and Noble,
okay.
Wherever ebooks are sold. Also, it will be available on print.
Okay.
From the 12th.
From the 12th.
Yes.
Okay. How much is it?
Okay, it's at the back. Okay, the paperback is $15.95.
Okay.
It comes in hardcover also. I believe that is $26, $1.95,
Okay.
and it comes in the ebook for $9.99. It's on sale for Amazon now for $8.63.
Okay, good. Now, are you going to write other? Oh, yeah, the trailer of the book. I saw the trailer of the book.
Yes.
Is it a movie or what? Are you thinking about making a movie out of the book?
Well, we'll have to see about that.
but are you going to write follow-up? Because your character at the end has not reached. I don't want to give it up, but
yes,
the story. But are you going to continue the story? Because it's not just about leaving Africa. It's about what also is awaiting you when you leave Africa.
Well, I haven't gotten to that stage yet.
All right, that's Dr. Ebele Ufondu. Thank you so much for coming on Sahara TV. We'll be right back.